Hi, today I want to talk to you about talking with your friends and your family and coworkers about your choice to wear wigs. So if you're watching this video, you've probably decided that you'd like to be a wig wearer, or you're kind of tossing around the idea. And for me, a big stressor for that was really figuring out how to talk to my family, my friends, and my coworkers about my choice to wear wigs. So we'll dive right in, but I do want to say that I am not a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a certified counselor in any way. I am a wig wearer, and I'm going to share my experiences as a wig wearer and share some experiences from other wig wearers that I also follow and see through different avenues, including Facebook pages and things like that. So quite a bit of experience talking about this topic because it is a very emotional topic for us as a whole. I started with my family when I was thinking of wearing wigs, and I talked to them about, I think I'm going to make this choice. I don't like how I'm feeling about my self-confidence and the way that I look, and they knew that I had already wasted lots of years and time and energy with my hair loss, and I was so grateful that they were so supportive of me choosing to kind of play around with and decide that I was going to wear wigs. Now, that doesn't mean that there wasn't some shock that went along with that. And that being said, like the first time I came down, I had my wig on, and I can tell you that my daughter that was here, she looked at me and she was a little surprised at the amount of hair that I had. And only because it was more hair than she was used to seeing me with. So I want you to think about that for yourself, because when you're sharing that information, it's always the toughest, I feel like, having this conversation with your family, because your family loves and supports you in whatever way you look or how they feel about you. They're always going to love you, and the way that you look is not affecting their emotions for you. So when they seem sometimes a little surprised or shocked, it comes from a place of them loving you for who you are, them not wanting to feel like you have to change for any reason or for anyone, even though you may just be doing it to have a little bit more self-confidence and feel better about yourself. So I was very fortunate. My family really stood behind me, and they've been very supportive of me. But then I've also heard of other women say that it's been challenging because their husbands or their children or family members thought it was too much of a shock for them. But when it comes down to it, the question I want you to ask yourself is it too much of a shock for them, but are you comfortable with it? It just could be that they just need some time to adjust to you wearing wigs, and that may just take a little bit of time. But when you look at yourself in the mirror, do you feel better about yourself? Do you have more self-confidence? Do you feel like you look more like yourself, or what you think you would like to look like when you have a little bit more hair than you're used to seeing yourself with? And I can tell you, when I asked myself those questions, I was much more comfortable being a little uncomfortable for a couple of days than I was looking in the mirror for the rest of my life and having that affect the way I felt about myself. So that's something that you can ask yourself along the way as well. Now, when I was talking to my friends, I had the same conversation with them. Most of them knew that I had been struggling with hair loss for quite some time. And I had the same conversation with them about, this is a decision that I think I'm ready to make, and I'm going to start wearing wigs and see how they make me feel about myself and see if I like it. And I can tell you, every one of my friends, and I'm hoping that your friends are the same way, that they will have honest conversations about you. And I can tell you, I've seen lots of my friends and they say, oh, I love how that looks on you. Maybe next time you choose a different color or a different shade. And I'm always open to hearing those things as well, because they are being supportive and they're being caring. But know that people are always going to be coming from a good place when they're having those discussions with you. And truth be known, if you're sharing this information with them, then I would expect that they are being supportive of you. So that is really talking through with your friends. Now, my coworkers, I have to say, I have a group of coworkers that I see regularly, and those are the people that I spoke with and let them know that I had chosen to wear a wig, so that when they saw me, they weren't completely shocked. I may work in a different kind of environment that you do. If you go to an office every day and you see the same people and the same coworkers, you may be having a different conversation, and that could look something like, hey, I've decided that I'm not comfortable with my hair loss anymore. And I've done some research and I'm thinking I'd like to try something better or something different as a different option because I'd like it to boost my self-confidence. Or I've put on this wig and I really like how I look with a little bit more hair and I'm going to start wearing it to work. So those are conversations, and I would expect that your coworkers would be very supportive. And I can tell you, after a couple of days of wearing it, no one is going to think twice about you wearing a wig to work. They're going to get used to seeing you with more hair than they did before. For me, I feel like I'm in a little bit different position. The position that I have, I don't see the same people all the time. I may go a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months without seeing the same person. And that transition for me is probably a little different because they may just think that I combed my hair differently or I have it cut differently. But I can tell you that when I go to all of my work locations, I always choose a color that is exactly like the color that they know that they see me in and a style that they see me in because it's not confusing for them. And I certainly don't want hair to be the topic of why I am there. So I want you to just kind of think about those things when you're having those conversations, sharing with your family and your friends that this is a choice that you're considering making, that you hope that they'll be supportive of you in making this choice. And I have found that people are very open to doing something like this. And I have found everybody that I've talked to has been quite supportive. And I'm hoping that you find the same thing for yourself. I would check out lots of other YouTube channels. I would check out other people online and see what they have to say about this because they may also have other advice to give. But for me, this was such a huge stressor when I chose to wear wigs was how am I going to start introducing this in my day-to-day life and for it to be acceptable? And this is the way I tackled that obstacle for myself. I just spoke to everyone and let them know that this was something that I was choosing to do, and I hope that I would have their support. Best of luck to you. If you have done this, please leave some notes in the comments. I would love to know how it went for you. And keep looking for information. Keep searching for what's out there. There are lots of options for women with hair loss. Hope you enjoyed this.